Okay guys, today we're going to learn about how much federal withholding to have taken out of each paycheck. And in order to follow along, you're going to want to go to page T1 of your book. It's in the very back. And once you get back there, you're gonna be able to follow along. Now look, the numbers in your book are for 2011. These figures here are for 2012. The methodology is the same. It's just that these numbers are going to be just slightly different. Now there's two different methods we can use. The first one we're going to learn about is the wage bracket method. Now, it's very important when you're using this method that you make sure you have the right table. This here is for a single person that's being paid weekly. Okay, if you had a married person that was paid monthly, you would need to look at a different table. If you used this table, you would come up with the wrong amount. So it's pertinent that you're using the right table. Okay, so in this example, let's say we have an unmarried employee that's paid weekly with 2 allowances, and let's say he's paid $600. Sorry, I forgot to put that in there. Okay, so $600 this guy's paid. How much withholding should he have? Well, first thing that's crucial, like I said before, make sure you have the right table. I've already gone and grabbed this one here for us. Okay, so we look over here to the left. How much was he paid? He was paid $600. What if he was paid $602, $603? Well, you find the amount that he was paid over here. It says at least, but less than. So $600 falls in between the 600 and the 610. If it was 602 or 603, it would also fall in here. Let's say he was paid $675. Well, we'd come down to this line. So basically, what we're going to do in this example, this employee was paid $600. They had 2 allowances, right? The more allowances you have, the less that's withheld. So basically, all you have to do is find the right table. Make sure they're single and weekly in this example. Find the dollar amount that the employees paid, which was $600. Go right over here to the right and find where the dollar amount and the number of withholding allowances intersect. $54. So $54 would be the amount that would be withheld from this employee's paycheck. This is definitely the easier of the two methods. The numbers that you get are going to be whole numbers. For example, 54. You don't see any cents here. 54 whole dollars, right? All this is in whole dollars. Okay? So this is the easiest method to use, and your results are going to end up in whole dollars. Now, if you're talking about somebody that's getting paid, a whole lot of money, they get to a point where they're off the table here. In that case, we can use the percentage method table. Also, this percentage method table is just another way to calculate the amount of withholding. Now, this is a lot more complicated than the wage bracket method. But let's take a look at how it works. Now, once again, this is for 2012. Okay? And once again, you need to make sure you're picking the right table. There's different tables. This table 1 here is for a weekly payroll period. Somebody's paid bi-weekly or monthly, you'd be using a different table. Okay, so let's take a look here at how we calculate this. This looks a lot more complicated, doesn't it? Well, let's use the same example. We have somebody that's single, that's paid weekly, and they're paid $600. Okay, let's scroll down over here. Okay, I have a nice, good example for us. It says, example, an unmarried employee is paid $600 weekly. This employee has, in effect, a Form W-4 claiming 2 withholding allowances. Using the percentage method, figure the income tax to withhold. This here shows us how we come up with it. Okay? Now let's go up top, and we're gonna work through this. So they're paid $600, right? Now, first things first, let's take a look. Well, okay, first things first, we start out with the $600 that he's paid, right? Now, from this, we subtract out the withholding allowances. Things are differently when we're using this method. Okay, so for the percentage method, the 2012 amount for 1 withholding. If they're paid weekly for each withholding, we count each withholding allowance as being worth $73.08. So if we come over here, we plug in the number. $73.08 is the allowance for each allowance if you're paid weekly. How many allowances did he have? He had 2 allowances. If we multiply 73.08 times 2, we get 146.16. Okay, so if we take the 600 and subtract out the total amount of the withholding allowances, we're looking at the amount subject to withholding of $453.84. Now this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. Oops, I just noticed here that I'm not showing as many decimals as I need to be. Okay, got that fixed now. Okay, so like I said, $453.84 is the amount that we're going to calculate the amount to be withheld upon. Okay, so this method is a little more complicated. So let's go up top here. What was it? $453.84. Okay. So $453.84. Now we got to make sure that we are over in the right page here, the right side of the table. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say the right side because that would be over here. I should say the correct side, which is over here on the left. Okay, so for a single person making $453.84, or I'm sorry, the amount that's subject to withholding is $453.84. Let's find where it fits in. Where does it fit in? It fits in right here between $209 and $721. So the amount of the tax is going to be $16.80 plus 15% of the amount over $209. In this case, we had $453.84. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the $453.84, we're going to subtract $209 from it. Whatever that gives us, we're going to multiply by 15%, and then we're going to add that to $16.80. Let's come down here below and see how the math works out. Okay, $453.84, right? We're going to subtract out the $209 just like it said. Let's go up here and take a look. The amount over $209. So we say $453.84, this is the amount subject to withholding, minus $209 gives us $244.80. This is actually, it might be a little bit more. I don't think I have my decimals extended far enough. That's right, $244.84. Now we multiply that. This is the excess over the amount, right? We multiply that by 15%, and we get $36.73. Now it says that we need to add that to how much? $16.80. So if I scroll back down here, I add $16.80 plus $36.73, and I get $53.53. Okay? $53.53. This is the amount. We've got the same scenario. Okay? A single person paid weekly with 2 allowances that's paid $600. With the first method, we came up with, what was it, $54, a nice round number. Okay? Down here below, we came up with $53.53. So there's going to be a slight variation between the two. And this method here is going to give us, it's not going to be in whole, I guess it could work out, but it's typically not going to give us nice whole round numbers. So we're going to have a situation here where there's going to be a slight variance between the two. The wage bracket method is easier. It gives us whole numbers. The percentage method here is going to give us, it's a little more challenging to work through. And in the end, we're probably going to have some pennies left over. We're not going to have some nice round numbers. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope that the numbers weren't too small in this video and that you're able to see it okay. And just remember, with all these videos, you can click down in the bottom right corner and maximize it so that it fills the screen. If you have any questions at all, please email me. I'm here to help you and want you to succeed, and hope that you have a great week.